Hello everybody and welcome back to a new instalment of Teach Me in 10, the weekly video series brought to you by Technology Networks, where we ask scientists to describe a research area or scientific concept in less than 10 minutes. My name is Molly Campbell and I'm a science writer and editor for Technology Networks. Our guest today is Dr Adeayo Sotayo, who is a research fellow in engineering and design at Brunel University. But Dr Sotayo is also really interested in writing, speaking and personal development. To that end, in his Teach Me in 10, he's going to teach us some tips and tricks for getting your first post-PhD work position. So welcome Dr Sotayo to Teach Me in 10. We are absolutely delighted to have you with us today.
Oh, thanks Molly, thanks for having me on. I'm Dr Adeayo Sotayo and I'm a current research fellow at Brunel University. So today I will be talking about getting your first post-PhD role in academia. And a lot of this will be about my experience and some of the reflections I've had. And I will also share some practical tips that I've learned along the way. It's worth noting that a lot of my education and career has been in the UK, so it might be somewhat limited to the UK. But regardless, I think some of the tips will be somewhat universal. So the first one is presenting your research. So if you're thinking of a career in academia, you need to have a portfolio of presentations and publications. So there's some opportunities that you would have to help disseminate some of your work, which includes small-scale presentations like in your departmental symposium or seminars. And you could also present in local and international conferences. So I started reasonably within my department. But one of the things I found was it helps you improve your confidence and public speaking experience. And one of the other things is it gets you thinking about different perspectives. So for example, some of the questions asked at some of these events can help you think about some potential answers for your interviews and your viva. So this definitely helps improve your experience and adds to your portfolio. The next one is publishing your research. I think if you're doing a PhD, you must have heard about peer-reviewed publications. And there's a somewhat debatable publisher perish culture in academia, but this also highlights the importance of publishing in journals. So a good indicator is impact factor. And not many people know this, or there are platforms where you can search called journal finders, where if you include the title and abstract of your work, it suggests different journals based on their impact factor. You can then rank it and decide on the best, the most appropriate journal to send your work in. And this also improves your writing skills, your research portfolio, and also even if you get rejected, it's a great way to get good feedback. Please never take the rejections personally, but I'll come to towards the end. I'll come and talk about rejections. The next one, take opportunities. If you want a career in academia, you need to go out there and take opportunities. Some of the ones I've done include some positions of responsibility during my PhD. So I worked as an associate lecturer, lab demonstrator, and I supervised some project students. So these experiences, you need to set you apart and get in a better place to get that role in academia. And it also enhances some teaching and supervision experience. So there are three factors that you need to develop. So essentially your research, some teaching, and some admin. So some of these positions of responsibility help improve that. And you might also be eligible after doing some teaching. You might also be eligible to become an associate fellow of the HEA, which is a very key qualification in UK and sets you apart. Take more opportunities. So during your PhD, you have access to free professional development workshops. So some of the ones I took during my PhD include like the likes of leadership skills, grant writing workshops, software training. So ordinarily, if I had to pay for this would have cost me about thousands of pounds to pay for it externally. But as a PhD researcher, you have access to some of these opportunities for free. So why not? Like, so I personally advocate for this. So I would always encourage for people to take opportunities in these development workshops, and also for taking online courses. So with online courses, I've learned different engineering software, and you can use it to enhance coding software or even non-technical skills. Next one is apply for small grants. So during your PhD, there's some reasonably small pots of money that are available for PhD researchers, and in my opinion, relatively easier to get. So this can include short exchange programs, travel grants. So I know there's some at departmental level, there's some at faculty level, and some at university level. Ask about this. If you don't ask, you wouldn't find. So these also demonstrate strong competencies towards getting a role in academia. So, and once you become an academic, these are essential. This will become essential parts of your role. So you will need to continuously apply for grants and funding on some of your research work. CV and covering letter. So I think this is slightly different. So the first thing I would say, start applying early. There are a plethora of reasons for this. First of all, applications take a considerable time and effort. So if you start applying, it puts you in a better place. And once you start applying early, you're able to work on your CV. So you're able to also identify gaps that you might have on your CV with some time left to develop some of the skills. So I would definitely encourage you to start applying early because of the time and also to know what's missing. And some of the free service you get at your institution can include access to expert consultants. So I would say this ordinarily one would need to pay for this service externally, but within universities in UK, a lot of these services are free. So access them, and they provide solid feedback on your CVs and covering letters. And it's worth noting that academic CVs can also be longer than 2 pages because you include your list of publications and some teaching responsibilities. So at the end of my PhD, I think mine was about 4 pages. So you have a bit more room there to include things. And when it comes to covering letters, there's a quick thing I do. You should try and match it as close as possible to the job description, but I think I talk about that in the next slide. So it's about matching it as much as possible to each application. So a quick test will be, can you send this covering letter to 2 separate rows? If yes, then it's not close enough, you've not matched it well enough. So once you're able to do that, then it makes it slightly unique for each application. Bear in mind, this is more time consuming, but I think it's worth it. So I would always advise you trying to match it as close as possible. So one of the other things I do is I draw a checklist of the requirements and also put my experience on how they meet each of those criteria. And I demonstrate my impact and future plans. So in UK, where to search for roles in academia, this includes like jobs.ac.uk. You can use LinkedIn, ResearchGate. Some of these have opportunities where you can get your first position in academia. Network. Please network. So people using Twitter nowadays and LinkedIn to even ask questions. So some things you can do is, I've learned that if you want to, sometimes you can follow people you want to be like. So you can follow them on social media, reach out to them. Sometimes if you have general questions in academia, you can follow certain hashtags like academic Twitter, academic data, which I've given on the bottom of this. Speak to your supervisor and network of contacts. They might be able to help you. They've got wealth of experience and might be able to help you towards getting that first PhD role. Sadly, rejection comes, or it's part of the experience, or it makes you more resilient and stronger. If you get rejected, ask for feedback, carefully review them, and improve for the next submission and interview. So please don't take it personally, just always improve. Okay? And finally, for a career in academia, sheer persistence matters. You have to keep learning, keep iterating, and keep improving. I wish you the very best with your applications. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sotayo, for a really interesting presentation. I think that will be extremely helpful to a lot of our viewers. So for our viewers that would like to find out some more information about yourself, where can we find you?
Oh, so I've recently set up my website, so it's drsotayo.com. And I also write a blog post monthly, which shares tips for students and researchers that can help with some of this information. And as I said, you can also follow me on Twitter and use the relevant hashtags for even more generic questions.
Perfect, thank you. So we will include the links to your website and your Twitter profile in the video description below. And we will be back soon with some more installments of Teach Me in 10. So bye for now.